for a good cup of coffee?
There's so many little pieces that go into the puzzle of good coffee. You need good raw produce, so good green coffee. It needs to be roasted well by people who aren't trying to cook the living daylights out of it. And you also need equipment and baristas that are highly trained and well maintained.
Right. You mentioned good raw produce. How do you know when it's good?
So if it tastes good, it's probably good raw produce.
Do you taste a raw bean?
So because I've tasted a lot of coffee, I can pretty much tell you straight away why it tastes good or bad. But as a regular consumer, you don't have that side-by-side experience. So generally what I would do is I would look for a cafe or a roastery that tells you where the coffee is from. Tells you where it was grown, maybe even the farm that it comes from and the elevation that it was made at. You don't have to have that information for the coffee to be good, but generally when a cafe is proudly displaying the provenance of their coffee like that, it's usually pretty good.
Right.
Otherwise they're hiding it.
Where did the passion for coffee come about?
So I hated coffee. I thought it was disgusting when I was 16 and I worked at a cafe that had terrible coffee, and I was wondering why so many people were drinking this awful, awful drink. And then that's a bit of a downward spiral into an industry that's quite focused and quite small. So visiting more cafes, hunting out like-minded people, coffee forums on the internet, they all lead to the same spot, and that's specialty coffee. So specialty coffee, I've got a really simple definition for it, and it's any coffee that a consumer will pay more money for. So it doesn't have to taste a certain way, it doesn't have to look a certain way, it just has to have a value that is higher than regular, commodity grade coffee.